So you've got an xTool F1 Ultra, and you're trying to figure out what to make for family or friends or even your business this Christmas. Well, today I'm gonna show you 5 super simple projects that you can make with your F1 Ultra. And really they take most of them just seconds, maybe a minute and a half or so for a more complicated ornament or coaster or something like that. But these are super simple projects. I'm gonna walk you through step by step of where I got them and how I did it. And I'll have my settings up on the screen for all of them that I've got my settings jotted down for. But I'm super excited about this video. I'm excited about helping you use your F1 Ultra to its fullest potential. We're gonna be using 5 different substrates today. We're gonna do wood for a keychain. We're gonna do laserable leatherette for a ornament. We're gonna do a coaster out of slate. We are also going to be doing a metal wallet that we're gonna be taking away the coating on, and then also a stainless steel piece of jewelry that we're gonna engrave into. So with all that out of the way, let's dive right over to where I got all of my files from, how I did all of this stuff, and then we're going to jump right into doing the actual engraving. Okay, so here we are looking at the main Creative Fabrica area. This is the landing page and kind of what you see. And Creative Fabrica is honestly where I get just about all of my graphics. Whether I'm getting a font to use to custom design my own graphic, or I'm looking for something that is pre-designed, I go to Creative Fabrica. So you could type in something like Christmas. Actually, we'll do first Christmas ornament. And you can search that here and it'll look, and now you have all kinds of graphics to choose from. So we're not going to use one of these for this video. I'll show you some of the graphics we're going to use later. But you know, you could go to this one right here and you could get this one, and this is our first Christmas together 2024. Put a last name right here. Baby's first Christmas 2024, put the baby's name right here. You know, you could do kind of any of this stuff. You could search something like I did, just Christian, see what comes up. And there's all kinds of different graphics here that you can choose from. And so, you know, you can scroll till you find one that you like. And honestly, one of the graphics that we're going to be using here in a minute is this Man of Faith graphic. I've used this to print t-shirts, and now I've used this to do laser engraving, and the graphic comes out great. As you can see, the designer says that they're giving you an SVG, PNG, and DXF. I brought the SVG right into XCS, and it worked fantastically. And then I was able to engrave it from there. And I was also able to, and I did this in Lightburn just because I prefer how Lightburn handles SVGs to how XCS does it. I could have done it in XCS, but I separated the 1 Corinthians 16:13 right here. I moved it down kind of below right over here just because on the wallet that I put the graphic on, it was a much better experience to have it there, just laid out a whole lot better. But this is Creative Fabrica. You can download really just about anything, and you can even just come up here and simply type in Christmas ornament and get all kinds of stuff. The great thing is everything on Creative Fabrica is commercially licensed, so you can turn around and use it on something that you want to sell. And we could even come over here and add in SVG if we want to get rid of a lot of those other graphics. And you might even see graphics that you've seen elsewhere that other makers have used, and you want to use yourself. I've used a graphic similar to this one. You know, I've done things just like this, and this one right here, we'll open that up, and this would be great to do for family names. It's a layered ornament, so you can see they're showing you the layers here. So you would cut this and engrave this, and then cut this out to do this one. All they did was on this back layer with all those score lines, they painted it. And so it came out looking like this. And you've got these wooden animals. These are going to be some nice layered ornaments that you can use different colors with. And again, we're not going to use many of these in this video, but I just want to show you what it is capable of, what Creative Fabric is capable of. And then with your F1 Ultra, because it's 20 watt and it comes with a cutting base, you can cut any of these things out of plywood really with no problem, especially if you're going to paint them and whatever. So definitely recommend checking out Creative Fabrica right now. And I am an affiliate partner with Creative Fabrica, so there is, I do get a little kickback if you guys purchase through my link, but you can get a year for $47 if you are currently subscribed. And they are always running deals for new subscribers. So check that out down below. I believe even through my link, you can get a free trial of Creative Fabrica to get like 10 downloads for free. No strings attached, that you can get those and to use them. Again, I highly recommend it. But now that I've shown you Creative Fabrica, let's jump on over to watching the F1 Ultra engrave some of these projects. So before we get over to actually doing some engraving, I wanted to show you guys how to import the file into XCS and stuff like that. Now, I don't have this connected to any devices. This is actually a brand new XCS install on my laptop inside. I'm not out in the shop right now. But what you would do is you'd hit this image button up here. I've already got it right here, just in my folder, but you would just browse on your computer to wherever you need it to be and select it. Now, for our purposes here, you can definitely scale it because we're going to be scaling it anyway. So I'll hit yes to scale it. Now, this is something that I do. I will click this button up here to make a compound vector. It just makes it all one thing. So it just kind of moves all together. And that's just, it's very useful to do that. From here, I would size it to be what you need it to be. So, you know, about 50 millimeter for one of the projects that we're going to be doing here in a moment. And that gets you ready. Now, this does not do your settings. Your settings will happen over here. I don't have, like I said, this is not connected to a device right now, so I can't show you setting my settings. But xTool has a lot of videos on that, and I'll be doing more videos on that in the future. There's also several other great YouTube creators out there that have awesome videos on the F1 Ultra, like Chad. I'll link a couple other videos that I recommend watching in the description below. But this is at least how you get your graphic in there. So I downloaded that graphic from Creative Fabrica and I loaded it through the image up here. I brought the SVG in. I made it a compound vector, which you can release the compound vector. And you can also then ungroup it, and you can come down here, just like I was showing earlier, how I moved this. So, you know, I could have grabbed that and moved that just like this, and get this to recenter me. And now we can re-grab everything and make it a compound vector again. And now all of everything looks the way that it should. And so this would be ready to engrave on that wallet. So let's jump on over to the laser itself and start to watch some of these projects come to life and see what all you can do with your F1 Ultra this Christmas. Now here you'll see it engraving in a different way. And so essentially this is the smart processing, which just came out in one of the most recent updates for the F1 Ultra. This has been available for a while on the standard F1, and it's been available for a long time on standard Galvos. On the screen here you can see this took 1 minute and 22 seconds to run this coaster of a map of the city that I live in. Now, when we go to the next one, and I'm going to leave this running in real time so you can see how long it takes, I'm going to run this again, except without smart processing, just so you can see what the time difference is like. And on the next run, I'll kind of explain what smart processing is, why you might want to use it, and why you might not want to use it. Here you see the regular processing going, where it's just going left to right. Same settings overall, except this is going to take quite a bit longer. Now, there are times when you would not want to use smart processing. I love using it on Slate and some metals, but when doing smart processing, because of how it jumps around, like you saw in the last clip, there is the opportunity for it to kind of have some lines in the engrave, especially if whatever the substrate is that you're engraving is thin and can warp, like on a thin business card or anything like that. You're definitely going to want to make sure that you are careful when using smart engraving, because it can make one area warp, go back and leave a sliver. But for something like Slate or some woods, it can either leave a very unique look on the woods because of how it heats it up and cools it down, or on Slate, it can save you a ton of time. Like you just saw, this is a 2 minute 48 second engrave doing standard processing, whereas it was 1 minute and 20-ish seconds doing smart processing, making it twice as fast. So be sure to test this out with your own products and see when you do or don't like using smart processing. Like I said, for me, I absolutely love using it on things like Slate or stainless steel jewelry or things of that nature. Honestly, one of the things that I was the most surprised with at this point was the difference in this coaster right here. When I, first started using the F1 Ultra a couple months ago, the smart planning wasn't out yet. And so in using the smart planning, as you saw, I was able to cut the coaster engrave time from 2 minutes and 48 seconds down to just over 1 minute. That's a lot of time saved. That's almost doing 3 coasters in the time it took to do 1 previously. And with how big the bed is, you really could, lay multiple coasters out and hit multiple at one time to be more efficient. Totally doable, and something that I'm going to be building some jigs for and stuff like that in the future. But I'm in love with the F1 Ultra. Off to the other side of the camera, you can't really see it. I do have a 30-watt MOPA laser, and I use that for a lot more of my fiber stuff when I'm at home. But when I go on location, the Ultra is the only thing I bring. In fact, just today, the day that I'm recording this video, I brought the Ultra to a friend's house, to another maker's house, and I engraved about 30 cutting boards for him on site just with the Ultra because it does so good with wood using the diode laser. So I hope that that kind of helped spur your inspiration to get you a few ideas flowing for some Christmas projects you can make this year. These are timeless projects. You can take the applications and the settings that I've shown here and apply them to so many different things. You don't have to put that type of graphic onto a keychain. You could easily put a crest for a family. You don't have to put a map of, the city that you live in on a coaster. You could make it personalized to the person that you're giving it to or that's purchasing it. You don't have to do the Christmas dice exchange game like I've got here. You could do anything. You could say first Christmas. There's any number of things that you could do using the techniques and the settings shown here. So I would love to see what you guys make with your F1 Ultra. Go ahead and tag me on Instagram or Facebook or any of that with what you make. There's also a link in the description to the Laser Creators Workshop. Now, this is a Facebook group that I'm working on building where I want to help you guys with your laser creators journey. I'm sharing settings, I share tips, I share tricks, and I've got a bunch of other people in the group too that love to help people out. There's different vendors in the group like Katie from Monarch Pine, or the Great Lakes Laser Supply, which that is where I got 2 of my blanks from. And so Great Lakes is where we got the wallet from, and Katie's where the jewelry came from. So there's the vendors in there, there's knowledgeable people in there, people more knowledgeable than me in certain areas, and it's a great place to just come and hang out. Plus, we are getting ready to do a giveaway. We're getting close to 100 members in the group. I've got some partnerships that I'm working on in the background. We're going to be doing a giveaway in there soon. So you definitely want to head below, join the Laser Creators Workshop, and see what it's all about. I also have an email list that is for the Laser Creators Workshop. Link for that will also be down below. That is a weekly email that I send out about different things going on in the shop. Sometimes, like this week, it's going to be about this video. Other times, it's a tip or a trick for light burn or even just how I manage my tasks. The other day, about a week or 2 ago, we sent out an email that showed how I use ClickUp and how it's revolutionized my workflow for the business, for every aspect, from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok to everything. And so that is the email list, and that is also down below. And again, Creative Fabrica, I know I've mentioned it several times already, but Creative Fabrica is linked down below. If you haven't signed up, now's your chance. Come on, sign up. It's so worth it. I've been a member of Creative Fabrica for years. I will continue to be a member of Creative Fabrica for years to come. That's where a majority of the graphics came from. The only graphic that did not come from Creative Fabrica is the Christmas dice game. This one, I kind of modified a layout to suit my needs, and the map. The map I purchased from an Etsy store, and I'll link that Etsy store down below as well. She did great work. I had the map in a few hours time. It was well worth the couple bucks that it cost. But with all that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, there's a button for that too. Let me know in the comments below what you think of videos of this style. What other videos would you like to see? What other content for the F1 Ultra or the F1? I still do have an F1. It's hiding right underneath the table down there, but it is still here in the shop with me. So what other videos would you guys like to see on those lasers or with the MOPA? I've got a lot planned, but I want to give you the content you want to watch. So let me know in the comments below. Join the Lasers Creator Workshop. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next one.